Hey, what's up? It's DJ. Today we've got a brand new blog talking about the Kinlaig map coming with the Highlands fishing expansion on Tuesday, November the 4th. With the upcoming Highlands fishing expansion, we'll be getting to explore a new map as well as getting fish farming. We'll also get a feel for the charm of the Scottish Highlands, the excitement of fish farming out in the sea, and some casual fishing by the shore. Rolling hills and steaming trains, Kinlaig's landscape is full of history. Sparsely populated, the Highlands of Scotland are a green haven of rolling hills and rough winds. But here and there, a port town like Kinlaig becomes a destination for fishermen, farmers, and lovers of natural beauty and hundreds or even thousands of years of human history. If you fancy towns where you can sense its history just by looking at a random house's bricks, well, then you have found your new home. You'll be greeted with the authentic flair of a scenic Scottish village. As for the man-made remnants of history, there are several places to explore. While the castle in the village looks as pompous as it probably did hundreds of years ago, another is in desperate need of renovation. And the stone circles, well, what their purpose was once, who knows for sure. Maybe talk to the harbor master about his theories. The lighthouse does its job, but still there are some shipwrecks lying around here and there, and messages in a bottle as well. Scattered across the Highlands, there are dozens of them to find and read. Collected in a book at the castle, you can read through all of the found pages anytime. And for the whole story, you need to find them all. There's more to discover in and around the old town of Kinlaig, and if you like to wander around, this is the perfect place to stretch your legs and explore. Kinlaig offers you space and opportunities to build the farming operation that you desire and extend in whatever direction. This includes professional fishing and the cultivation of fish colonies. Ready to fish? Well, with Highlands Fishing, we can also start with a bigger, more professional fishing operation. A fish breeding facility, offshore aqua farms, feed production, ooh, I didn't know about that, and boats for transport let us set up a new line of business in addition to agriculture, animal husbandry, and forestry. Whew, that sounds exciting. Count me in, man. We also have 36 new screenshots to take a look at. Ooh, it's gonna be a long day. Let's do it. So here is our PDA. For some reason, I thought there was gonna be a lot more water than this, but maybe they're just condensing it down, and maybe there's more water hiding somewhere. I'm not really sure. I was kind of expecting up here at the top part of the map to be way more water, but I guess it is what it is. I do believe that either over here, well, I was gonna say, or maybe down here somewhere, but I don't think so. I think up here is gonna be that port that we keep seeing everywhere. I'll also say it seems like there's plenty of farmland through here, so I don't think we're going to be worrying too much about that. And in addition to that, it does look like many of these can be plowed together. We can see the different types of road systems too, so we've got like dirt roads, for example, right here. We have kind of main roads through here and through here. In black here, that's going to be our train track. At least I'm making the assumption that it's the train track, as it's the only one that just drives straight off in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I believe that's our train. Just by looking at it, I'm kind of getting some like Silver Run vibes, but not so much logging. And that is a great thing. I mean, you know, not the so much logging thing, but well, for me it is. I was actually speaking to somebody recently and they were like, yeah, I don't do logging. I was like, yeah, I only do it when I have to, so I never do it. I'm also making the assumption that right here is going to be that other castle that we have to rebuild, so that's kind of neat. And then this obviously is BGA. And I know it's not, but racetrack? Maybe. It's not. The next one we get to see the train going across. Is this a aqueduct? Aquifer? I don't know. It's a train thing is what it is. So that's exactly what it is. We have seen this view so many times, starting from like down here in this field. We've actually got one or two videos that have been taking place right in that field. All the way over here on the side, we could see that is where our town is going to be, and probably also where our port is going to be, because that should be about right in here, as a matter of fact, because this is where our water comes out of. I know I was joking around about the logging, but we will have plenty of logging on here, probably a little bit more than just a normal map would have, but it is a giant software map, so they try and kind of level everything out, make it all even, so if this is the only thing that you ever play, you could still do everything in Farming Simulator. We do have a house over here, but I can't really figure out what it's for or what it is, but nonetheless, there you go. If you're curious about the train cars, looks like we've got 3 grain, we've got 1 logging, and 1 flatbed. Now, I know we mentioned the BGA a little bit earlier, so that is right smack dab there. Now, this is also around at least what looks to be 1 farm that we could possibly buy. We do have a silage pit there, we got a shed there, something else here, and then that, but that's not our starting farm. It doesn't look anything like our starting farm. And then we've also got an area down here. I wonder if this will be maybe the sawmill or maybe a production chain of some sorts, maybe something like that. And then we've got all little areas back here, but I'm not quite sure what all of that would be. It's so pixelated. These screenshots that we've got are 2560 by 1440, so they're like what you would call like a 2K screenshot, where I like to generally do everything in 4K. Mod videos of Farm Sim News are downscaled to 1080p, but we're not really looking for quality there, just to get the information out to you. This video is actually in 4K, weirdly enough, so the screenshot's actually being pulled just a little bit. Here's one that made its rounds on my Discord channel a couple days ago. This was pretty sweet. So we were talking about this sprayer mainly. This does look like a Damon sprayer, and that brand was added whenever we got Nexat. This is not any of the sprayers that we have. It is a brand new sprayer that we're going to be getting. That, and there's also something over here, but I think that's probably a vehicle that's just driving on the main road. As a matter of fact, one of the screenshots that we just saw was taken up like in the air up here. Told you. They're showing up this area a lot. Man, Harry Potter has really got its hold here. This one's cool. We can kind of see a couple things. Mathan? I don't know. A couple names back there that I can't see. And then Kinlaig right there. Pretty cool. Yeah, I think the big thing here is going to be that sprayer for sure. Really big fan of new equipment and maybe trying to figure out exactly what that model is. They talked about the lighthouse in the blog. Well, here we get to see it over here on the left-hand side. This was another one that was kind of interesting because we got another screenshot a couple weeks ago from a different side saying that around here, oh, it's in the video. Yeah, it was in the video that we just got. Talking about this lighthouse in particular and saying that nobody knew much about fishing and farming. And they built a lighthouse just to make it look nautical and turned it into a cafe. I don't know, man. Maybe this is a cafe. Who knows? I will say, I don't see any fish in here. No. And no Nessie either. Oh, wouldn't that be a good, oh man, Easter egg. Easter egg. Do it. Do it. Put Loch Ness in there. Nessie! They're really heavy-handed with this bridge, man. This is the same area from a different angle. Over here, way over here, we have a telehandler. I don't really know what that is. Is that a JCB? Kind of looks like a JCB. It would make sense that that would be a JCB. I know that they like to hide equipment and stuff in the backgrounds. They've done it before. And I just don't see anything else. This is also like either at night or in the morning, somewhere around there. And it's very difficult to actually pick stuff out. But yeah, a little telehandle over there, but that's about it here. Come on. Please tell me this is from a different area. How many of these bridges do we have? There's got to be a couple of them for sure. Same train. There's really not a whole lot going on here. We do have a little bit of snow on the ground, which is kind of cool. I like that. You can see some of the fields don't have snow. Like this one doesn't appear to have snow on it, but we do have snow that's kind of made its way down through here, almost like there's just like a wall there, kind of. The snow on everything does look very nice. Looking good. Fuel station, I believe, back there. And then we've got some cars here. We know that there's going to be an EPC Land Rover, Mini. It's going to be quite a few different things. Did somebody say the train? We got a train. It goes under something this time, so that's new. I'm gonna get really tired of seeing the train 36 times. As far as everything else goes, I'm not quite sure there's a whole lot in this screenshot for us to look at. Maybe here. Nope, nothing there either. Yeah, it's pretty. That's about it. Got a car! So, this one looks to be... It's got a lizard on the front, so it's not a Mini. It's a lizard. And I think we've got an NPC driving. They are on the correct side of the road here. We have Kinlaig Castle, which is in the center of town. That's very cool. I think normally these would say Coca-Cola, but it says Farmers Coffee. Very nice. Sorry, I don't know why I zoomed in there. Anything else? It looks like there's like a dude over here or something. Yeah, I don't, does it look like K-Bot to you guys? It kind of looks like K-Bot from here. Otherwise, nothing here. Is this the castle? I feel like this would be a castle. It's the church for sure. So we've got our church here. We've got the Scotland flag there. We've also seen this area quite a few times as well. We got somebody walking over here as well. No cars, it doesn't look like. And it is winter time. Very, very snowy. I don't know if they've increased the amount of time that it would snow or increase the likelihood that it will accumulate more snow in the wintertime. But I can tell you, I've been there in the summer in July, and I bet in August they've had snow. Tell me if I'm wrong, I don't know. But everything looks really, really good. I like the different designs here with the snow and everything on the roofs. It looks nice. It's another area, same area, same church right over here, just a different time of year, possibly spring, summer, or maybe fall, but I don't think it's fall. It's either spring or summer. We have Cairn Outdoors, clothing and equipment. I don't know. The stones do look nice though. I've spent a couple summers, a couple trips at least, over in Edinburgh, and that's been a lot of fun. We got to go over there and see our good friend FSG, and this looks a lot like some of the areas that we went down. So I am really happy about that. Again, more areas. This one is definitely in the fall time, maybe even the spoopy time. Huh? You got look at this. It's all decorated. It's so cute. That's awesome. I love that. Very cool to see that. As far as our car goes, I don't know what that is. Is that an old MG? I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's probably Lizard, but I don't know what it is. If you know, hey, let me know. Birds! Get out of here, birds! And then winter hath cometh. Winter is looking very, very pretty over here in Kinlaig. So we've got quite a few of the different areas around. We've got buildings. I don't know, are we going to have any businesses downtown? I hope we do. Give us a reason to actually go there instead of just looking at it. In Farm Sim, sometimes things need to actually have a purpose rather than just like, oh, yeah, I want to go there. Now put a sell point or something like behind one of these buildings. We have to come here. This is beautiful. This is super nice. We've seen a couple maps that have done interesting things, but I don't know if we've seen one do it quite like this. So hopefully once this is released, we'll maybe have some modders that are throwing down some big Christmas trees and adding lights across the way like this. I don't think that's a permanent structure. That is cool though. One more picture here. Looks like we've got a taxi cab. I've ridden in those about 1,000 times when I've been over there. We've got the rushing water. That's looking fantastic. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot we could see here. We could probably pay attention a little bit to the buildings here. They've got some new textures using some new techniques in order to make each of the buildings look a little bit more unique. However, I would say this building and that house right there, they kind of look the same. Probably not copy pasted, but they do look the same as far as textures go. There's a castle again, except now it's not cold anymore. And that's about the only difference between here. And then we're just a little bit further up. We do have what looks to be a food recipe over there. I'm not quite sure if that's any different from what we've got. I have not played on Hutan Pentai, so I can't tell you. One more of the town itself, so we actually get to see this in snow once again. This kind of tells me we're probably going to be seeing a lot more snow. The one thing that is weird, though, is the snow texture continues under the water. So hopefully that doesn't happen because that's not a real thing. Everything's covered in snow. Even the boats have got snow on them, which is cool. I don't know if we've got confirmation that there's only a couple boats coming, but we've only seen 2, and we're getting pretty close, and they keep sharing a lot of stuff about a lot of things. So I'm expecting to not be able to even touch any of these boats here. I would even be surprised if they have collisions on them. Just is what it is. There's our church in the middle of town. Otherwise, not a whole lot going on here. All right, well, maybe the thing in the middle of town was not the castle, because I think if you put this and that beside each other, you'd be like, that's a castle. The other one was a church. So I think this is a castle. It's looking really cool. Check this out. You got your bridge right over there. Sometimes I forget the word bridge. Forget a lot of words. You got your cannon in case somebody comes over that you don't like. What is this right here? Oh, in case your dog goes to the bathroom on the floor. And yeah, that's kind of it around through there. Let's see if we can zoom in on some of these other parts around. Not really. I think it's so far away that those grass textures aren't even loading in. Here's inside the walls, and what do we get? A cafe. Of course, Farmer's Cafe right here. Sorry, Farmer Coffee. You know what? It's funny. All you got to put is, or was that Farm Coffee? Farmer Coffee? Anyway, put COP right there. Farmer Cop Coffee. FirstResponders.com. Free all coffee. There you go. As far as everything else goes, I don't really recognize a whole lot. I mean, they are using new assets with this kind of stuff. Obviously, they have some modern things like your power box and things like that, generators. But I got to get in here and look before actually, making any assumptions. There we go. Is this too low? Let's move on. Welcome to Pebblehenge. It is Stonehenge's weird little brother. Unless this right here is a man. Oh, that's a collectible. Oh man, I just found a collectible. That's so cool. Look at that. I found it. Look at that. You saw me do that. I was first. Nobody else did that. This, areas like this creep me out, so we're not going to hang out here too long. There's nothing else going around, at least on the outskirts of this screenshot, other than grass and stuff. So why don't we move on? Somebody grab that bottle, and I'll meet you down at Farmer's Cafe. Oh boy, in the next one, they put me right smack dab in the middle. I'm going to be sacrificed. I knew it. So get the bottle. Nah, for real though. Let's see. I don't see anything hiding. I'm basically ignoring everything in the foreground because I feel like it's all obvious. I don't need to explain what's in the foreground to you, but I am creeping it on the outside though. Well, now they're just being heavy-handed with this, although I do find it interesting. So is that right here? I can't tell if they've removed from the past or the previous screenshot or not, if they've removed all of the stones from the hinge. I don't know. Man. Unless it's like way over here, which it could be. I mean, there's a bunch of them on the map. Found another one. I feel like I'm not the only one that's going to find these anymore. I thought the first one was special. It always is. Oh, man. So we've got quite a few shipwrecks. That is one of the kind of big things here. We can honestly just scroll through a few of these. So this is the same area, just back a little bit. At least I think it is. Yeah. Same one, just back a little bit. We do have a dude down here on the bottom. We got bridge over here as well off in the distance. Birds doing their thing. Yeah. There's not a whole lot else going on with that one. We kind of move on. This is in the port, I believe. Again, there's nothing, I think, gameplay-wise. Visually, it looks really nice, and there's a couple modders that do a really good job of that, including Oxygen David. I just found another collectible! Oh, when this comes out, I will be the first one to find 3. You better believe it. Once we've got all of those, by the way, we get this. You found Chapter 1. First entry. Here I am, Captain. I am called now, entrusted with a fine ship and finer crew, ready to sail beyond known waters. Strange feeling. Why do I sound like a pirate? Let's stop doing that. Holding the helm, like wearing someone else's boots, they fit. But I'm not yet sure whose fingerprints I'm meant to follow in this expedition. Fingerprints? Footprints. Stop following people's fingerprints. Unless you're a cop. Oh, Farmer Cop, we're back to him again. Then again, no one leaves footprints in the sea. It's late and I'm giggly. Let's move on. Tomorrow we sail, not for trade, no, but for discovery. Oh, goodness gracious, this is so stupid. There's talk of unrecorded current lights that flicker, where no lantern hangs and beast no nets ever hauled aboard in the deepest depths. Our employer is hungry for answers. Aye, same as us. Let the sea reveal what is kept hidden, and we'll put names to the nameless. But first, I need to know the names of my crew. Ship sails better when our people aren't strangers. Well, that got nice at the end, didn't it? Goodness gracious. I need to quit drinking Dr. Pepper this late at night. And we get another look. I thought there were a bunch of shipwrecks, but apparently we're only getting to see one, but from like 3 different angles. So I guess there's that. And we get camping spots. Now, I don't see any triggers for sleeping or anything like that, but we have seen these tents quite a few times, so that's pretty cool. I'm trying to look in the background. Maybe there's a bear or possibly a wild K-bot that'll jump out and get us, but really see anything back there, but well, that's what camouflage does. It hides you well. Still, very nice to see this. We pop through over a little bit. I can't tell if this is an area where we've actually been fishing before. That seems like a very small area, so I don't think we're going to fish in that. But what if, for whatever reason, this floods. Could, and you know, areas like this flood all the time. How do you think the V got that deep right in that area? Nonetheless, still very cool, very nice. Digging the trees. Trees looking very good. I assume we're going to be getting some new tree types, but I can't tell you for sure. I would have no clue what their names are. But if we go over here, we can see a little bit more water. We got another bridge. We're going to see quite a few bridges here. And then this one, it makes me think that this is the edge of the map, but only because the textures haven't loaded in. But again, these screenshots are only 4K or 2K, so maybe the settings in the game they're using don't allow them to load them in yet. All right, 7 more screenshots to go. This is showing off one of the fisheries. So this is the 1x2. We also have a 2x2 and a 2x3. So we've got like a 2-pod, a 4-pod, and a 6-pod setup. So this right here, when we looked at the PDA, that's kind of where the river runs through the middle of the map. And then this out here is where I was, well, kind of assuming that we would have a lot more room than this, but maybe we don't. I also don't know if we're going to be able to buy all this. Do we have to? I just don't know. As far as boats go, we got buoys everywhere. So we got red buoy there, green buoy here, buoy everywhere. But I don't know where the boats are. Where the boats? As far as our port area, I'm guessing it's right in here. For some reason, I was thinking it would be out here, but I think it's going to be right in here, off to this right-hand side. That's where I believe it is because the castle was right across from it. Here's one of our small fisheries. So in here we deliver food, and out of the food we get the young salmon, and is it trout? I can't remember the other fish, but we get 2 types of fish. This is where you get the younglings, and then whenever they grow up, you'll put them in pallets and take them out here where they will grow, give them more food, and they will grow into larger ones. Also, you don't have to give them food, but they will, more of them will die. If you don't give them food, you just get less fish back than you put in, so there's that. Here's a really, really nice overshot kind of area here. We can kind of tell over this area. I believe this is going to be back towards the bottom left-hand corner of the PDA that we looked at. So if you wanted to reference that, you can. That's where I think this area is because we've got a river running here and we've got mountains off to the left-hand side. This also could be at the bottom right-hand corner, and there's mountains on both sides, and I just missed that part. That is also, either way, I think this is near the bottom because see all these areas? I don't think we're going to have to go through all of that and get to the other side where it gets flatter. There's just no way. The flat part's got to be behind us or down to our right. This also does look like where we could probably have a small farm area, and I mean, there's houses all over the place up here, and we have traffic. Another area here, I believe this is where we're able to take one of the things that we've got for like, what is it? Iron ore, copper, something like that. Stonemason, possibly? I don't think this is a quarry, but I think maybe this could be stonemason. It does have some graffiti, so I don't know if that graffiti is going to have anything to do with what we're up to. Do we remove that? Is it a collectible? Is it like GTA where we have to tag over it? Tell me how to do it. I don't know. Here we got the mill. Now, we've seen this mill from a couple different angles already. We've seen it once, I think, from the other side where it also says mill, where they were harvesting this field, which is behind us to the bottom left hand here. Over here, we've got some more areas. This is mainly just the flat areas right outside. Over here, we could see we've got our castle. If we could keep seeing even further left, we would see the church over there. And then back over, this is all the water outside there. So hopefully you're kind of getting an idea of exactly where everything is. Next to last one right here, we have Kinlaig Feed Co. I believe this is where we're going to be getting our fish food, like actually being able to make it, because high quality fish meal since 1998. This building looks way too old to be 1998, or is it just the fact that I think 30 or 26 years ago was too not long enough? 26? 27? I don't know. I was born in 88 and I'm 36. So I'm just trying to do some really rough math right there. Nonetheless, we could see input's going to be here, outputs are over here, and I would bet either here or on the other side we will have a trigger, but usually they turn the icons for those off for screenshots. And lastly, the very last screenshot, 36 out of 36 that we get to look at today, this guy right here. So we have the Kinlaig Fish Market down here where we're able to So the fish on the right-hand side is where we've seen the boats going away. So that is kind of neat, but we don't see either of the boats that we're confirmed to be getting, at least in this screenshot here, but we do have a bunch of other stuff. I don't think we're going to be able to interact with any of this at all. By the way, there is a lot of graffiti on this map. Graffiti's a really big deal in Kinlaig. I tell you, I want to be a police officer so I can crack down on the crime and maybe run people over with tractors. What? No, I didn't say that out loud. You did. You heard that out loud. There's the church. That's definitely not a castle. So there you go. That is all the new screenshots and information that we've got today on Kinlaig. The map coming with the Highlands fishing expansion on Tuesday, November the 4th. I've completely lost my mind over the last half hour of recording, so I'm so sorry. But some of it was pretty funny. All the information I talked about today was in a recent blog, so if you want to check out the Farming Simulator website, go to the blog section. You'll be able to find it there. This expansion does include more than 20 machines, new map, new crops, and new animals. The pre-orders are available right now. You can also save 10% by using my code in the description. Using that code does go to help support the channel, and you get a discount, which is a win-win. Also, owners of the Year 1 Season Pass do not need to pre-order, as you technically already own the DLC. That's right, before anybody else. So all you got to do is download it on release day, and you are good to go. But don't worry, if you're not somebody that pre-orders stuff, that is cool too. Maybe you're just waiting to see how the pack looks and performs, and I wouldn't blame you. I'm going to be showing everything off in detail as soon as we get new screenshots, new videos, new information, all of the stuff. I'll be showing you guys first, and in addition to that, explaining how everything works once we get closer to the release date. So make sure you subscribe, that way you don't miss any future coverage of the Highlands Fishing Expansion DLC. If you got any other questions, please let me know. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Hope you have an awesome day. We'll see you in the next one.